Teacher Kim, subscribe and like.
Hello, students. Teacher Kim Hobin here, and we'll be talking about ayo and oyo. You probably heard a lot of people say ayo, oyo at the end of the sentences when speaking Korean, and you might be wondering, why is there so much ayo and oyo? What does ayo and oyo even mean in the first place? So in Korean honorific expression, the predicate of a sentence has a different ending to show the relationship between the speaker and the listener. Okay, and so what do I mean by it? So ayo and oyo in the first place is a polite informal phrase, or used in polite informal phrases, meaning that when you're talking to people who are close to you, such as family member or somebody who you're close to, but you still need to respect them in certain ways, then you use ayo and oyo, which is a polite informal expression. Okay, now we usually use it because the other person has a higher societal rank than you or older than you, but you're close to them. So that's why you still have to respect them by using the polite informal expression. And one of the examples that you hear often is when you ask somebody what they're doing. Let's say if some friend was to ask, hey teacher Kim, what are you doing? I can say, if I'm reading a book, I can say, 저는 지금 책을 읽어요. Okay, 읽어요, ends with 어요, right? And then another example can be, hey teacher Kim, what are you gonna do for lunchtime? And I can say, 저는 점심 먹어요. So I'm eating lunch. And it ends with 어요, okay? And then 어요 and ayo is put after either a verb or adjective. Okay, so let's look at a couple examples. But before that, we need to look at this example about the stem and then endings. So the basic form of every Korean verb and adjective ends in 다 ending. And then 다 is omitted from the verb and the remaining part is called stem. For example, 살다 is an original form of to live. Okay? And we can convert this to 살아요 by removing the ending to a new ending of 아요. And then another example can be 먹다, which is to eat. And then 먹 is a stem and 다 is the ending, right? And we gotta replace the ending. But for this time, instead of replacing it to ayo, we replace it with oyo. And the reason is there's two rules to ayo and oyo. So when do we use ayo and when do you use oyo? After. So when we use ayo, when it comes after stem ending in a vowel of a, ya, or o, yo. And then oyo comes after stems ending in every vowel except a and o. So let's look at a couple examples of ayo. Okay. So 가다 can be converted into 가요 because the stem ends in a vowel of a. And number two is 오다 can be converted into 와요 because for this one we add 아요 to o and then ending, so it becomes 와요. And then 보다 becomes 봐요 as the same logic for the one above. And 많다 to 많아요 because the stem ends in a vowel of a. But the words that end with oyo is if it ends in a vowel except a and o. So for example, 먹다 will become 먹어요 because it doesn't end with a vowel of a or o. And after that, 입다, you get rid of 다 and then it's 입어요, 입어요. And next one is 재미있다, and then you can convert this to 재미있어요. So we basically replace all the 다's and replace it with 어요 or 아요. And then 읽다 to 읽어요. And then it can also be in a question format. For example, 가다 is to go, right? But if you want to ask a question, you can convert it to 가요, and then it would be 아요 because the stems end in a vowel of a. So a and oyo is important to show the predicate of a sentence, to show relationship between the speaker and the listener. And then we convert this a lot because when we're speaking Korean, we do not keep the verbs and adjective in their pure Korean format of which ends in ta. We always convert it into different predicates. Okay, so that's why it's important to convert to oyo and ayo. And there's even more a polite way, which I'll make another video of it later. But if you know this for now as a basic, then you're set to go as a beginner level, and then as you get into intermediate and advanced, and you will also learn different predicates on how to convert the Korean adjectives and verbs into different formats depending on who you're talking to. And this is Teacher Kim, and I hope this was helpful, and see you next time. Bye bye.